Hello everybody, Shelly here, and I'm back, and I'm finally going to do the Colourpop Bambi collection. I didn't buy everything. I didn't buy the Bambi eyelashes, and I didn't buy the big body puff. I'm guessing maybe it was like a shimmer or something, but I do have the entire little collection of lip glosses, and there are 3 of them in here. I do have the gel liners, and I do have all 3 of the eyeshadow palettes. Originally, I got Flower, which was my favorite of the Bambi character, and I got 2 Thumpers, which I hear is like the best palette out of this collection. I didn't get Bambi originally, and I kind of threw a little fit. So I've got Thumper that I've put in a giveaway. Actually, I think I sent it to one of my subscribers who's going to college and felt like I need to send her a little care package. I got Bambi, I have Flower, I have Thumper, and Flower was my favorite. Thumper was super cute. Everybody loves Bambi. I thought maybe we would just do some makeup with these. I don't know, maybe I'll do a look with each one of these palettes. If that interests you, then go ahead and stick around. I'm not a makeup artist. I am a lady of a certain age. I have my flaws, and you guys are totally fine with it. I have the best subscribers. You guys are always super supportive, and you don't pick on me too much for not knowing what I'm doing, or not having the right lighting, or just not being perfect. And so that's what we do on this channel. We just play with makeup, because why not? It's just makeup, and makeup doesn't change sizes. Sometimes your shoe sizes might change, but makeup doesn't change sizes. Like, I can still wear the earrings that were in high school. I do have a couple other products I thought we would play with too. I've got some foundation on. Actually, I'm using the Pure 4-in-1 tinted moisturizer. I did go with a couple layers of that. It's so light. And then I used a little of the $1 Billion Brow Concealer just in place. My skin is not like perfectly prepped. I do have a lot of residual glitter. So if you see some extra sparkles, I didn't intend to put that on there. It just wouldn't go away. So, okay, I'm going to use the Allure Cosmetics Brighten and Bronze Complexion Trio. And I think I'm going to go in with the darkest one as kind of like the beginning of how I'm going to shape my face here. This is a great, it doesn't smell like anything, but this is a great product. I actually really like the Allure Cosmetics, the stuff that I have from them. I've got several palettes, eyeshadow palettes, and then I think I've got a couple face palettes too. I don't think I have enough for like a full face, but I think I've done some videos where I've used some of their products before. It's a Hispanic company. The gal that owns it or runs it or founded it or whatever, she's on Instagram and she posts quite a bit, and I just think that's a really pretty. I'm actually going to take the lighter color and just kind of go over the top of that. I grabbed this because I do like this. I think it's a perfectly fine complexion palette to use. Works. Okay, now I'm going to do something a little controversial. I'm going to go in with this is the Rare Beauty Stay Vulnerable Nearly Rose. I've heard mixed reviews on these products, and I think when I go in with them like directly onto my fresh foundation, I think things kind of move around a little bit. So I'm just going to grab a brush and I'm going to pick up a little bit of the product. I don't know why I tapped it because it's a cream product, but I found that if I stipple it on top of my bronzer, I get a huge payout of pigment, and I can place it and then I can flip over to the other side and just kind of buff it in a little bit. And because it's on top of my bronzer, on top of my foundation, I don't feel like it moves around my foundation at all. Whatever's left over here. I didn't grab any more product because I went in pretty strong. I think I figured it out. I think I figured out how to put it on. I think you just can't overwork it, I think is what it comes down to. And I like the fact that it's not super shimmery, which means I can bring it a little bit closer in onto that texture. Brush is falling apart. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have so much glitter on my face. My husband would be like, so apparently you filmed today. The gel liners, there's 3 of them in here. So we've got 3 eyeshadow palettes, 3 glosses, and 3 gel liners. And these don't really look like, so one of them is called Raindrops, one of them is Meadow, and one of them is Pearly. I'm guessing this one is Pearly because it's bright. I think this might actually make a good waterline. Oh yeah, that works for me as like waterline. Waterline, and maybe in here as an inner corner highlighter if I wanted to. I can see that's how I would probably use this lightest shade. This isn't one that I would have necessarily chosen if it was just by itself. But now that I have it and I can use it on my, on my waterline, I'm gonna say, yeah. I don't normally do waterline eyeliner, but we're doing it today. These other 2 almost look like like lip liners, although that one's a little shimmery. I mean, they're all supposed to be eyeliners, right? It doesn't say. They say cream gel pencil trio. They don't say whether they're supposed to be eyeliners or not. So we're gonna use them as eyeliners. We've got one that's kind of like a pearly pink and one that's more of a matte purple. Kind of gives us some direction here. We'll start with boring. Let's start with boring Bambi. And this is your neutralist of the palettes. Although you have one gold in here, and then you've got some warm browns. You've got a shimmer on the end here. How this shade works on an eye. And that, despite it looking tan in the pan, it actually came across as a little bit more yellow. And I didn't put any additional eyelid primer on. I'm taking this all over since I had so much of it. You know, that's not necessarily the shade that I would think that people would choose for a yellow eyeshadow. That's actually kind of pretty. I'm going to go in with the next darker matte in here, and typical Colourpop kick up, kind of about what I would expect, and frankly, typical Colourpop application. I'm not seeing anything different than I would normally expect to see from a Colourpop eyeshadow formula. Sometimes you wonder, you know, when they change the packaging and they do something cute, or they, you know, rush a collection to market, are they cutting corners? Did they change something to make it faster and easier? And I understand that not everybody loves the collections and not every collection speaks to them. And Colourpop, after they got kind of like their COVID stuff figured out, they really went crazy with pushing stuff to market. I'm gonna take the darker one. I'm just using the same brush each time. And they've really, really been pushing a lot of stuff out. I feel like they're playing catch up for the stuff that they couldn't do last year too. And I don't know that Colourpop needs to do all of the collaborations and all the different collections, because I lose track and I don't get every single one of them. I don't get anything in PR. I'm not one of those YouTubers. But the colors built up on each other well and blended well. And I'm just doing this one eye. I'm just taking that and dragging it down a little bit. Okay, we're going with the gold. Going with the gold on a finger. That's pretty. Okay, I'm not someone who's always gravitates, and I always wonder what to pair yellow with, but that actually feels very, very pretty. Let's put some, I'm not going to use their eyeliner in this look, but I'm going to use this dark shade in here. I have so many brushes to clean. Okay, I'm going to grab the darker shade and just buff that up against my lash line out here. Anyway, Colourpop has so many collections that they do. And some of them are just like, okay, that's not to my demographic. Bambi! Bambi was a book I loved when I was a little girl. I love Bambi. We need some mascara and some lip gloss. And maybe that yellow doesn't really go with the blush, but I wanted to use the blush, so I could probably put more bronzer over the top of it. It would make more sense. So apparently there is a paired gloss with each of the eyeshadows. I'm just gonna grab a lip liner. What is this? This is a Real Her lip liner. I think this came in a boxy. Oh my gosh, that glitter. I can see it everywhere. Just lining it, and then I'm gonna do gloss over the top. It smells like orange sherbet. You know those little like ice cream cups that you got as a kid? It smells like the orange one. I need some mascara. I'm gonna throw in a very subtle little tiny bit of mascara, and then I'll be right back. All right, you guys, back with the Bambi. I'm glad I held out on this palette. I had to contact them and say, hey, you sent me 2 Thumpers. Can I get a Bambi? I'll send you back Thumper if you want. And they finally, I mean, it took them probably a week. They finally got back to me and said, yeah, well, we're happy to send you out a Bambi. So I got the Bambi and I like it. Okay, 1 down, 1 to go. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was the one that kind of least inspired me because really, brown? Do we need more browns? Apparently we do, because that gold has given me life and I love that. Okay, let's do flower next. This is a purple one. This reminds me a little bit of the Wet n Wild one because it's a 5 pan, because it's purple E. It kind of reminds me of it. But this one feels richer. This one feels prettier. I'm gonna go in with the lightest colored matte in here. And again, I didn't put any eyelid primer other than what was on my foundation brush from that Pure Cosmetics. So I guess that was the Pure was my eyelid primer. That one I felt like got a little patchy. Might perform a little bit better, frankly, if I would have done an eyelid primer. And maybe the brush. This is actually a Sigma Buff and Blend E39. But this is a soft domed Buff and Blend brush. I feel like it's giving me a little bit of trouble with that shade. It's fine, and from a distance I think it's perfectly fine. I think I'm actually gonna stop there. I want to take this shimmer right here, the next one down on the list. Oh my gosh, it's so creamy. I'm gonna put that all over my movable lid. That goes on so nice. You know, one of the things I'm loving about this collection, number one, it's, you know, nostalgic because I had the book and then I had the Disney movie, and, you know, it just reminds me of my childhood. There is not a single press glitter in any of this, and I'm loving that. Okay. I'm going to take this darker matte, buff that into the outer lid a little bit. I think one of the things that I find myself doing when I have patchy eyeshadow is just layering more on top of it. Hides it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go with a different brush, the clean brush. I'm going to buff this up here and see if that'll kind of smooth those colors in a little bit more. Try a little bit down below. I'm going to press a little bit more of that shimmer on the lid. Works all right. And now this dark down here scares me. Make sure my brush is kind of clean, and to my upper lash line a little bit. It's so dark, but it does have that purple color to it. Really, really like it. I think that's the one that you use to get you your date night look. A little bit of this down here. I'm going to show you something here in a second once I get the rest of this done. Okay, the only thing I haven't used in this little itty bitty palette is this bright light color, which is going to be my highlight. Oh yeah, this one feels like it has a little bit of a pink duochrome or pink shift to it, and it's pretty. We're highlight up there, but we're going to. You know what? This has turned my mind a little bit. I was really, really concerned that it was too patchy and not giving me enough of what I want. I'm going to take that. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've got either mascara or the dregs of eyeshadow. I'm not sure which one this is, but it's the purple one. And I'm just kind of going over that lower lash line. So I'm going to put some mascara on. And all right, you guys, we're taking off the lip gloss, the Bambi lip gloss, and we're gonna put on, I still have most of my lip liner on, we're gonna put on the Flower lip gloss. And this, even though it looks kind of purpley in the tube, it's very, 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 very subtle. Got mascara on, changed the lip gloss. I'm gonna take this darkest shade here because we're gonna take this from relatively normal, pretty kind of everyday look. And if I dust this over the top, we should get smoldery, sexy, smoky date night look. And buffing over the top beautifully. That's date night for me. I would absolutely take this from daytime work look to date night just by doing that. That could not have been easier. And it looks really pretty. Like, I like the pink kind of undertones peeking through. You gotta have to ignore that other look. But that is Flower. I like it. Okay, we're gonna take both of these off and let's come back with Thumper. Be right back. All right, back and going in with the final of the trio of, it's upside down, the trio of the Bambi eyeshadow palettes. This one's Thumper. And this is really, really lovely. Here's the shade. Come on, focus. That's the colors. You've got 2 mattes, 3 shimmers. I feel like this one has like a little bit of a green shift to it. Yeah, that one's definitely green. That's kind of fun. Maybe we're doing a pink and green look, huh? I would use that shade. We're gonna go in with this one first. This matte here. You know, your transition space. This is the palette that I think I had heard everybody say, this is my favorite. And I apologize for not getting this video out to you sooner. It's one thing to not, you know, not be on anybody's PR list and not get anything early. But then by the time I did get it, I was so excited about some other stuff. So when I was finding time to film, I thought, you know what, this particular collection was a Shelley self-gratification collection. This isn't a collection because I thought you guys were gonna be like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love that and I need to get inspired by it and I need to see and I need your take on it to see if I actually want to buy it. I mean, I didn't think anything of that. I specifically bought this because I loved Bambi growing up. It was so sad. Sad, but I loved it. Okay, that has a lot of kick up. I'm gonna go into the darker kind of purplier, more purple color, and I'm gonna use that to darken up my crease a little bit. This one reads a lot cooler than I thought it was going to. You know, I'm not in love with every single Colourpop collection that comes out. For a while I felt I needed to be, but they're not paying me to do this, and they didn't send me any of these things, and not every single one. Like, I didn't do the Sailor Moon thing because Sailor Moon was after me by a generation. I remember coaching high school coached a performing arts group in high school. I remember the girls there in high school were talking about it, and I was already pushing 30. It was like half my age. Okay, I do love cool tone neutrals, and I think that's actually very pretty. We're gonna go in with that green, and we're gonna start here and see how we look. I'm literally trying on every single one of these shades in every single one of these palettes. That's pretty. My fat fingers sometimes cause me to travel. This is so creamy and buttery soft, and yes, I get whatever shimmer I'm working with traveling down under my lid. But we'll clean it up. It's a process. We're not done yet. I like that green a lot. I'm gonna go in with the dark, and this has me thinking about greens. And paired them before in like, you know, 3 looks, 1 palette type videos, depending on what's in the palette. Reminds me that I actually really like pairing green, a shade that I would normally look at and go, yeah, I can't wear that, to pair it with these purples. That's actually really pretty. I can see why this is some people's favorite. Right, I'm gonna grab the lightest pink, and that's gonna be my inner corner highlight. Bring this up a little bit here, blending it into that purple and the green. Nope, not too much, just a little bit. I might as well just take whatever's left on it. All right, that's actually really pretty. There was one additional eyeliner, this light pink one. I might as well use that down here. This one might actually be too light until I really do a lot of cleaning up. You know, normally I really love the gel liners, but this one feels a little hard. Maybe it's because my eyelids are all irritated. You know what we're gonna do? This is a one-way street. We're actually gonna try these on the lips. All right, you guys, to buy them individually, this lightest kind of rose looking color, it's like it's a shimmer, but it's not spectacular. I think it's okay on the lips. I wouldn't use it as an eyeliner. And this is the Thumper Gloss that came in the kit. And again, they smell like orange sherbet. I don't know that you need all 3 of those glosses. I like this as an inner corner or an inner, like a waterline liner. I like that a lot. That will get some use there. The dark purple one, I think I probably like the most as an eyeliner, although it's hard to show up on. I'm gonna put on some mascara really fast. I feel like I might need some different eyeliner though. Let me put this on and then I'll be right back. All right, you guys, back with the third and final look. I did use a little bit of this Fee Saint eyeliner as I go to put it back. And this is my final look with the Thumper palette. It's more of your cool toned. I do like that green. I think it's really makes this palette special. I probably am getting it in my mascara right now. The green makes this special. I do like the darker cool tones. It reads a little gray, and that's okay, actually. I don't mind it. I think this is actually a perfectly fine palette, even despite the gray. I'm gonna grab a little bit of that kind of dustier first shade. I think that this is completely wearable. And I think if I'm doing a day where I'm doing cool colors, then yeah, I would use Thumper. I'm shocked though. I gotta be perfectly honest. A couple different things why I'm shocked. Number one, I went into these with all of these 3 eyeshadow palettes, and I thought that Thumper was going to be my number 1, the one that I have on right now, because everybody else said Thumper was their number 1. And then I thought Flower would be my next because of the whole purples and me trying to get more into purples, and it's a little bit of that Samantha March mini mix palette with Ofra Cosmetics that she did. Kind of reminded me a little bit of that, along the same sort of vibe, but I'm thinking that's kind of must be trendy right now, and people doing more of the purples and the plums and the mauves and stuff. But the Bambi palette was my favorite, and I thought this would be my least favorite because it's brown. It's a brown eyeshadow palette, but that gold in there really made it special. And I think every single one of these palettes has a little something that makes it special. For me, the green in Thumper makes that one special. In Bambi, it's the gold, and in Flower, this shade right here, I think. Although, no, I take that back. The special shade for me is the dark purple, because that's what allowed me to take it from a daytime very sweet, cute, pretty look to a nighttime sultry, exotic, smoking hot look. The gel liners, the win for me was the lightest one, the pearly one, because I used that inner corner, and I think it pairs beautifully with the green in Thumper, but it worked well with all of them. I think that's a surprise. I'm gonna keep that handy. The other 2 liners I didn't love. I think I have better purples. This, I think, makes a better lip liner, but I used it one time and I already need to sharpen it. I think the product itself seems soft to apply. I think this darker purple is really pretty matte, I just don't feel like it's getting on my eyes. I don't want to tug on it too much, but I don't feel like I see it. So that's my take on this. The lip glosses, I think that they're all barely discernible. I think you pick one. I don't think you need all of them. Hi, Colourpop. You're never gonna send me anything in PR. Anyway, there's my take on the really lovely set of Colourpop x Bambi collaboration. You shouldn't need to have instructions to put on makeup. Like, we're ladies of a certain age, we should know how to put the shit on, right? Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we need to actually kind of figure it out a little bit. All right, you guys, that's it on my Colourpop Disney Bambi collection. Like I said, I didn't buy everything, but I bought a lot of it. So I hope you guys are doing really well. And yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. I've got a bunch of stuff that I want to show you. It's makeup. I like sharing makeup with you guys. All right, until my next video. Bye for now.